8 tough races over more than 5 months. The prize, a Ford Raider four-wheel drive for the series champion. That was the scenario facing Mikaele Jones and Anthony McKeon going into the final round of the Nike Triathlon Super Series. The two were to battle it out for Australia's richest prize after dominating the championship. And as Warren Sim reports from the Gold Coast, the outcome was a thriller.
It is almost 5 months to the day that we arrived here at Bond University for the first race in the Nike Super Series. 8 races later, we're back, this time for the finale. And up for grabs is a Ford Raider car. We've had the chance to watch some of the world's best in action through their victories, defeats, and plenty of controversy.
And what a start for the women. Sydney's Mikaele Jones won the first event on the Gold Coast on handicap by 20 seconds. But Victorian Simon Knowles gave warning he would be one to watch, beating home Anthony McKeon and Miles Stewart. The pace was furious when the series travelled to Adelaide, and it proved to be a sign of things to come. Scoring a 9-second victory from Mark Dragon and Shane Johnson was Anthony McKeon. The euphoria turned to despair at Kurnell in Sydney, a shattered disc wheel, putting a stop to the McKeon charge. The race went to world champion Miles Stewart, but Simon Knowles still led the series after 3 rounds. Stewart was again in great form for the Elwood leg in Melbourne. It came down to a thrilling sprint finish with McKeon. Stewart, though, winning the battle, but the overall points going to Mikaele Jones. In round 5, we put you in the swim with the professional field and then onto the bike for the most controversial race of the series. Stewart held what looked to be a winning lead when called back for an infringement in the transition. He says it cost him the race and his chance of winning the Ford Raider car. The race going to McKeon by 16 seconds from Mikaele Jones on handicap. We then took you ballooning over Lake Burley-Griffin during the Canberra Festival, which featured the 6th round. Stewart forced out with injury, but what a finish. On handicap, Jones failing by just 2 seconds to edge out McKeon. Points were vital in round 7 in Melbourne. McKeon losing his footing under pressure. He lost the race by 12 seconds to Mikaele Jones, leaving them locked together on 55 points going into the final event.
And what a series it has been, and we're now just down to 2 for the Ford Raider car, Anthony McKeon and Mikaele Jones. And Anthony, what a tough assignment for you. You've got to pick up Mikaele 5:35 out there today. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough course to do, but I think going on the sort of the course it is with a few more hills than normal, it's going to be very tight. What do you think of this style of racing when they're going off on handicaps? Does it make it more difficult? Do you know how far she is in front? Yeah, there'd be people out there saying things that maybe they shouldn't be, but yeah, it's more, I think, more of a novelty than it. Even though it's a very serious race, it's more of a novelty because none of us have really done this sort of race before, so it sort of makes it more interesting, and I think it'd take a bit off the mind, just thinking differently that way. Mikaele, you're 5:35 in front of him. Is it enough for you? Happy with that?
I think, as Ant said, it's going to be really close. The type of course that it is, but I think it's going to be really close, not just between Anthony and myself, but I think everyone.
First across the line is worth $3,000, so the handicaps are vital. Mikaele Jones to start 5:35 in front of McKeon as part of a 53-strong professional lineup. First into the water off 7 minutes 20 is Anthony's wife, Kim, and then confusion for Jones when her start time was wrongly called. As the clock ticked down, McKeon was looking anxious. Every second, Jones was moving further ahead. The tension, though, was a worrying Spot Anderson.
Very nervous. Nerve-wracking.
Finally, McKeon has given the word, and the chase begins. Kim McKeon holds her lead into the transition, with Mikaele Jones closing fast. With a Ford Raider as the series prize, seconds lost here are vital. McKeon had a tremendous swim, making up several places even before the bike leg. The new leader was Alexandra Laws, passing Kim McKeon within the first lap on the cycle. Jones was pushing hard, sensing the men's charge, just half a lap behind her, which included Shane Johnson, who was making huge headway. The hillier course suits McKeon, and after lap 2, he trailed Jones by just 2 minutes 45. The gap was continually closing, and it soon became obvious Jones's 5:35 start was not going to be enough on this course. McKeely was a marked lady on the final lap. She gave it everything to stave off the challenge, but her lead at the transition on McKeon was just over a minute. Laws had battled well out in front, but Shane Johnson claimed the lead midway through the 5-kilometre run. McKeon was powering, and he soon picked up Jones on his way to claiming the Ford Raider. The race, though, belonged to Johnson. He had a 50-second handicap, but still managed the fastest time of the day. McKeon was second fastest, enough to give him the series and the car. McKeely produced a gutsy race, the leading lady once more, but on handicap, 44 seconds behind McKeon.
Sort of got down here this morning and I thought, oh, well, I might as well go for it. And, you know, I think I raced pretty well. So, you know, although I'm disappointed a little bit, you know, I do know that I, raced as hard as I could. So, you know, good luck to Ant.
All that was left after 8 tough rounds was for McKeon to take delivery of the prize for the series champion.
I just can't believe it, you know. It's a day that I thought would never come where I'd win this sort of prize, and having what happened to me 2 years ago, hit by a car and all that, sort of not knowing what I wanted to do, and to come and win this, I'm just ecstatic, you know, can't believe it.